I'm gonna review with you. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Kia Reviews and Reacts, a new YouTube channel of Kia Flow. I know. I'm always up here doing something. But y'all know I gotta keep what? Giving it to you. And I did not want to convolute my Flowtainment page or my Kia Flow page with content that is not geared towards the direction of that particular channel. So I had to create a new one. This is my first video. This will be my first time doing a review on a show. And I was just so excited that I was not about to waste my time setting up everything like I do for Flowtainment Live and possibly how I do for WKFLO. So this particular video is shot on my phone. I got a little setup going. This pretty much will be it, maybe give or take a thing or two, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there. But in the meantime, I took my time writing out this episode, so I give so much props to all of the channels that have come before me that are doing reviews and reactions, because it does take time to do this. So forgive me, I have to make sure I'm looking over here in the lens instead of at my face, which I can tend to do like I'm doing right now. But we're about to get into my first review, and this is Kingdom's Business. Have y'all saw that? It's on BET Plus. Check it out if you don't already. Y'all probably gonna get a few BET Plus reviews from me. I'm even thinking of going back to bigger, and maybe I don't know if I need to do Boomerang, because, and if that's the case, I guess I don't need to do bigger unless they come out with a new season. I'll probably see if I can do some sort of a season recap, but that would also mean that I would have to watch all of those again. And it's so much different watching them when you're just watching them, but to watch them and to write out a script, or excuse me, write out your paper to do your review, it is something. But we're about to get into it, so here we go. Kingdom's Business, episode 1 is titled One Moment from Glory. And it begins with Danita Jordan, played by Yolanda Adams, singing in the church. Right now she's singing, Jesus can work it out. Jesus can work it out. And we see her daughter, which you don't know that at the time, but of course, a lot of this will be filled in, but her daughter is actually directing the choir. Her name is CJ Jordan Walker. And her son, we see him along with his girlfriend. His name is Taj, and his girlfriend's name is Essence. They are sitting in the congregation next to his father, which is the Bishop Jordan. So we get a chance to see the full family of the Jordans. Danita tore down the house in typical Yolanda fashion. I had to say that because you know how Yolanda do. That's Danita Jordan. I thought it was ironic that it's Danita Jordan. Same syllables as Yolanda Adams. Anyway, that's just me. Maybe you caught it too, though. Let me know in the comments. Then the scene changes to the strip club. Now, I need for you all to know that for this episode, I'm going to be doing that a lot. It's going to go from one scene back to the next scene a lot on this particular episode. I was able to notice that because of writing it down. But like I say, we go from Greenleaf to P-Valley in a split second. I don't even think it's been 5 minutes yet, baby. Child, a girl on the pole working it and doing everything she can to get that money. And it's actually the girl from Empire. I forgot to write her name down, but I'll make sure I put it in the video. And in this club, she's known as Chardonnay, aka Rebel. We also find out she goes by Rebel, yes. The DJ of the club is her live-in boyfriend. I have not gotten his name yet either. They kiss once she, gets off stage, you know what I'm saying, for making her money. And she makes sure she says, I'm going to see you tonight. So we know, oh, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, okay then. So let's see here. Oh, Rebel procures her a white boy to take up to the VIP. And as she's going up the stairs, her friend Danny is running down the stairs away from the club owner. Child. And I actually put this here. I say he got a sexy eye to me. But one day we'll find out why it's cloudy. You know them big macho men, once they get a cut on their eye, something happened to the eye. I don't know if he was born that way or not, but it's cloudy as hell, but it looks sexy. It go with his mean demeanor a little bit. Don't judge me. I'm just being real, okay? So he chases her down to the bottom of the stairs, Rebel with her client. She's trying to figure out, well, what's going on, And she sees Danny and the owner arguing at the end, at the bottom of the steps, and he snatches her off. Then, so she doesn't pursue it anymore. She, takes her client upstairs to make that money, okay? Then we go back to the church. Bishop Jordan comes out on stage after Danita's performance, singing her praises. You are on fire, baby. Child, he was saying all the good things about her. We found out he met her while singing in the choir, and now she is the biggest gospel-selling artist in the world. Her daddy is also, or was, the bishop of this church, which I think I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't have it right here. And as they are acknowledging their kids, he introduces all of them, and that's how I'm able to put the names together. We see Larry Reid live, y'all. YouTube's on. Larry Reid live. I feel like I need to get into his voice right now, okay, and have a conversation. But yes, we see Larry Reid live. I was like, oh my God, there go Larry Reid. I know him on YouTube. He like the goddaddy for some people. Child, give you all the church gossip and tea. So it is so fitting that he has this character on this. He is in the church taking photos of Taj and Essence, and Danita sees him and want to know what he here for, because she say, you know what, he is messy. And there's got to be a reason why he's here. He's trying to scrounge up some dirt. You hear what I'm saying? That's what she said. She goes on to sing another song, and before she gets into it, we find ourselves back in the strip club. At this point, we're in the dressing room where Chardonnay, aka Rebel, asks Danny what was going on. And she says a customer complained on her and her attitude. And when she said it in such an abrasive and abrupt way. And she looked at one of the dancers who was standing on the sidelines, and rolled her eyes, insinuating that she is the one that snitched and said something. So Danny starts crying and says she's thinking of quitting. It's a lot on her, like, you can't be dancing forever. You cannot dance for forever, baby. You cannot be out on that pole for forever. You could try. I done seen some 40-year-olds up in there. But baby, it get old, and it get old fast. Danny feels forced to do what she does, but Chardonnay, aka Rebel, knows she doesn't have to feel that way. She doesn't admit to what she's doing on the side, though, because, I guess Rebel is feeling like, well, why are you looking this deep into it? All we doing is just dancing, unless you're doing something else. Child. We're going to find out, but we're going to go back to the church. We then find out that the episode's title, One Moment from Glory, is also the title of Danita's first album, the album that put her on the map. The song begins and she says she ain't retiring. Shirley Caesar didn't. And I guess that's because I don't know if that has anything to do with the Stellar Awards because we haven't quite gotten to that point yet, but she definitely said that. Okay, she sings One Moment from Glory, which is also, I felt, a beautiful song. Taj's girlfriend is singing along with her, and he looks over at her like, you know my mama's song? And she's like, yes. And she's up there singing it, and he's impressed, like, oh, okay then. She ain't all the way out there because she is a pop star. So, they like to, put people in a box, especially church folks sometimes. They want you to stay in a box. They don't know that people can have multi dimensions and facets about themselves. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm going to sew this up, but I'd be damned if I get rid of this dress. I bought this from Gabe's for $7 about 3 years ago. It is the most comfortablest item I own. And I will not. And I love animal print, and they got flowers and such on it. I will not get rid of this one. Okay. All right then. But this is going to be the only time y'all see it on here. All right. Back to the club. Danny and Chardonnay, aka Rebel, are leaving for the night. Danny is ashamed of her lifestyle, whereas Rebel is okay because she got a crib, a boyfriend, and the opportunity to buy red bottoms. She's living in the now, and Danny is worried about the future. Back to the church. They are finishing up the song, and we see Caesar, who is played by Michael J. White, went on Black Dynamite. Why are you so evil? And I think he was on Insecure, on, what was it, Due North? He fell on the floor talking about some, I hate slavery. Oh, that was so funny. Anyway, so he's standing in the background with a grimace on his face, looking like Spawn in the making. He was also on that too. But anyway, so we don't know what's going on. But for me, the first thing I thought was, oh, he's a scorned lover. Something done happened. He got a body on him, something. So we go back to Danny and Rebel, who are in the back seat rapping on the video. Yeah, them diamonds going dummy. The song is called Bust It. Child, and they over there bust it all up in the camera. Danny says they could be like Cardi. Rebel knows it takes more than that though, but can't seem to want to shake the life. So she know that a rap probably not going to get you there, but for some reason, she don't know that stripping probably not going to get you there either. Oh, excuse me, exotic dancer. As per corrected by the next show that I will be reviewing. What is it? All the Queen's Men. Listen, good one. Anyway, Danny gets dropped off, but asks Rebel to promise not to forget the music. And they do a pinky swear, period. Okay? And as she's walking away to go to her house, another car drives up as Rebel is pulling off. And so Rebel asks the driver to stop the car so that she can look out the window and see what was going on. She sees Danny arguing with someone from the driver's side, and apparently they pulled out a gun and she started wrestling with them with the gun, and they shot her in the chest. She fell out on the ground. That's when Rebel got out of the car and cradled her, had the driver call 911. Then we switch to the bishop and Danita, who are walking in the door. Danita walks in complaining about Taj coming to the church with Essence. She don't like her. She feels that she is too old to be dating her son, and she's just over it. Then she opens up her laptop to go watch LRL, Larry Reid, live to see why he was trolling. Bishop says it's because of Caesar, a possibility. Danita thinks Caesar is competition. They need a hit to save the church. They do more talking until Bishop's phone rings. He answers and discovers it's a call from the Williams family. They need him to come to the hospital. We discover this is Danny's family. He gets together to leave, and Danita says, it's funny how people seem to need you more at night. And he walks out the door. I say, child, Ain't that how they be doing it on the movies? See, these movies will get you caught up, but anyway, and TV shows, they get you caught up. At the hospital, a cop is talking to Rebel outside. She and Danny were in juvie together. I believe that's how they met. And we find out that Danny is currently in surgery. The cop is just asking her if there's anything that you can think of, give us a call. And as she's finishing up her conversation with the cop, the bishop walks past her immediately to the family. And there, as she's finishing up the conversation and walking in the door behind him, the doctor walks out towards the family, and that's when he notifies them that Danny passed away either in surgery or due to complications for surgery. They say that, you know, that's all that they did all that they can do. And then, of course, the family starts crying, and Rebel breaks down in the background. Then Rebel makes it home and showers. Blood is all over her body from cradling her friend. And that's when we see, as she's just standing in the shower crying, her boyfriend comes home and gets in the shower with her. Both of them still have their clothes on, and they sit in the tub so that he can console her. Rest in peace, Danny. Then we go back to First Kingdom. I knew I was going to write it down somewhere. We get back to the First Kingdom office, and they have a record label called First Kingdom Records. They received 12 nominations at the Stellar Awards. Tamar Braxton, who is in here, her character is Sasha. She asks, how many nominations did Caesar have? And Danita says, now, Sasha, you know this is not a competition. What we do here, we do for the kingdom. And that's not important. Baby got her all the way together up in that board meeting. And so it then flips to Caesar. And Caesar's on the phone talking with Ron. And he asks, you know, how many nominations he got, and he got 1 nomination. So he asks, how many did First Kingdom get? And Ron chuckles, and he's like, the first thing Danita asked when she called me was, how many nominations did you get? So she already knew what he had, but she just wanted to give Sasha the business, and we'll understand why later on. But Ron also had to let him know that Danita was also getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. Oh, he lost it. Caesar just wants to see if he can get credit finally for producing Danita's first album, One Moment from Glory. He never got any writing credit for writing at least half of the songs, nor any producing credits for producing all of the songs from the album. So we find out why he's standing in the background of the church soaking, or just he was heated. That's what he was. Okay, I mean the steam. Go see. Anyway, so Ron tells him he can't guarantee him that, though. You know, that's not his business. And they get off the phone. And we go back to the office where Taj and Danita are talking about the lineup for the musical tribute during the Stellar Awards. And she noticed, she ain't even supposed to know that it's supposed to be a surprise. But, of course, she's going to, you know, sweet talk her son. And he tells her that they do have ideas as far as, like, possibly using Kanye West. And she says no. She wants Cece because she owes her. I'm still trying to figure out if she talking about Cece Winans, because they started talking about she be busy and all of that stuff, but she just said Cece. But anyway, they don't say last names. I don't think he said Kanye West. He just said Kanye. And so she just said Cece. Okay. Now, in walks the bishop to give a heads up that he or the church will be hosting the memorial for Danny at First Kingdom. Danita is like the dead stripper and is concerned about how it would make the church look. And, you know, he's not caring about all of that. And when he gives her rebuttal or his reasonings as to why, she's like, You better hope my father doesn't find out about this. And oh yeah, and then he's like, well, just to let you know, I wasn't coming to ask you for permission, just giving you a heads up. Okay. And as he's walking out, he congratulates her on her Stellar nominations. Kind of bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, darn. Where the love at? Where the love at? Rebel. Now we go back to Rebel. She's outside, maybe of her home, but she's talking to a counselor that apparently used to counsel her and Danny when they were in juvie, and they're there reminiscing about the good times. She said that Danny dared her to dream. The counselor asks if she wants a ride to church, and Rebel says that she don't even know if she's coming because she has some disdain in her heart. So, the counselor gives her to talk about the church hurt and lets her know that it means so much more to show up when it matters for someone, especially when that someone always showed up for you. So she gave her some information to ponder on. And then we fast forward to the memorial service. The bishop is giving the sermon when Rebel walks in. So she chewed on it and decided that that's where she was supposed to have her behind up at. Okay. Todd is standing in the back, and after the bishop finishes his sermon, he asks people, does anybody have any reflections or anything? And I promise you, you can hear a pin drop. Ain't nobody say nothing. I ain't even hear a cough, a sneeze. You know how at least you hear that? We heard nothing. I ain't hear a page turn or nothing. And so he was like, I know that there's someone out here that has something to say. I know she touched someone's life in a way. And so that is when Rebel gets up and walks up, and she says a few words, and then she busts out into this beautiful song. I mean, when I saw it the first time, I was teary-eyed because the lyrics were so powerful, so true, so fitting. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, somebody, of course, this day and age, somebody's in the church recording. So there was somebody or a few people recording a song in the church. And when she finishes the song, she abruptly runs out of the church. Like, I mean, I understand why she was feeling it, but it was just so beautiful. Taj was impressed, to say the least, from the very beginning. When she walked out, he had a look on his face like, I need to find out who this is. Larry Reed Live, that's what we get to next, child. He is on his YouTube channel, and he has the video of Rebel singing at the funeral. And he say the people want to know who she is. She has 1 million views in 48 hours. They don't know who she is or who in the hell or heaven. And what he said, no, he says, who in the hell or heaven is she? So, they about to go out and look for this girl that tore it up at this stripper's funeral. Taj wants to sign her. He is talking about it to Essence, talking about this girl. He still don't know who she is, but he's talking about it to Essence at the restaurant. He has to take it up with his mom, though. He says he's meant to be at First Kingdom because he was scared to take it to his mom. And so Essence was like, well, you might need to leave. And he's just like, he's meant to be there instead of leaving. She asks about getting signed with First Kingdom. And he's like, we're a gospel label. She was like, yeah, I can sing gospel. So I'm not quite sure why she's a pop star looking to get signed to another label, but maybe we'll find out. So Taj goes to meet his mom, who is completely on no about signing a stripper. This is Danny. Excuse me, not Danny, but Rebel. He says, we got to meet people where they are. And this is when she threatens his position, so he backs off. This is when he decides to take her to Caesar. Even though, mind you, he still ain't found this girl yet. He still don't know her name. But he has the video. So he shows the video to Caesar. We go into, at first I thought it was a church, but I'm thinking maybe it's his studio because he produces gospel artist, Caesar. And so they're having a live rehearsal or session when he walks in, shows him the video. Caesar wants to know, what you doing here? You know, Danita have your, wring your neck, have your head. And he's like, well, my mama doesn't know I'm here. Y'all gotta excuse me, I got a little belchication going on. And so, you know, he's just like, well, you know, what am I supposed to do? He was like, well, since my mama don't want to sign her, why don't you? And, you know, he was like, boy. And so I put a question mark by this, because when he looked at the video, he was like, who is she? And so I put a question mark by it. Who is she? And I probably put it on the screen because that made me a little, but I'll revisit that when I get to it. Okay. Taj talks to him about signing her. I've already said that he's a skeptic. He tells Caesar that he cares about the talent, whereas Danita cares about the appearances. Caesar orders Taj to bring her to his office, and Taj is like, man, you know who my mama is? I ain't trying to. He was like, bring her to me, and, you know, we'll see how this goes. He said, if God spoke to you, let Danita take it up with him. I said, I know that's right. You better let him know. Go back to the club. That I believe it's the same dancer that Danny was like snitched on her. She lets Rebel know that Danny was into some stuff that Rebel had no clue about. She don't want to believe it, but thinks of Dex as being a reason as to why she possibly could be into something. That's when we find out the club owner's name, Dex. Taj comes into the club the same night. And at this point, he's looking for Rebel. Somebody points her out, and he goes up to the private room with her for $100 to talk. She begins dancing. He gets uncomfortable, like, hey, I'm just here to talk. And she's like, well, talk, church boy. And so she's just shaking, and he's, you know, talking to her about, you know, how he can make her a lot of money. And when he said that it's a gospel record label, that girl almost lost her She was like, you in the wrong place to be talking about that. That is, listen, total polarity. Do you understand? He said he want to introduce her to progressive gospel, though. Like, but she think he's tripping. You know, she kept trying to dance on him. He's uncomfortable, so he kind of pushes her out of the way, and she causes security in there. He gets kicked out, but he drops his card on the floor. He really did look like a weirdo getting kicked out of the club. But he dropped his card on the floor, and she did pick it up. Then we go to Danita, who is looking at the video of Rebel singing. And she says, I can't seem to shake it, talking to Bishop. And she says she's not intimidated, because I guess, you know, the bishop thought, you know, of a little jealousy competition going on. And she was like, they talk about how they are going to save the ministry. I guess she's looking for ways to do that. She could have been looking at Danny for inspiration. She walks over to the piano, saying a prayer. Then she begins playing it. Then we go back to the club, where Rebel is going through Danny's locker at the club, and she sees all of the pictures and everything hanging up. And then a flash drive drops on the floor, y'all. Whenever you see a flash drive drop out of nowhere when ain't nothing else around here says stick a flash drive in me, you know something is up, child. Taj comes in while Danita is still on the piano to talk about Rebel again. She's still against it. But he does help her with the song that she's working on. Then we go to Rebel's house. And at this point, she's watching the video. And what we see is Danny having sex with a man that Rebel cannot recognize. But we, the viewers, know that that man in that video is Bishop Jordan. And that's how that episode one moment from glory ends. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to episode 2, which will be coming at some point once I watch it again and write it all down. But that was Kingdom Business. Like I said, it is on BET Plus. Make sure you are watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you got anything to share, anything I missed, anything you want to talk about, any conspiracies or speculations that you may have thus far, please put it in the comments so we can have a conversation. Shout out to Larry Reed Live and talk about it. I'm your host, Kia Flo. This is Kia Reviews and Reacts. I hope you enjoyed my first episode. I will see you all on the next video. Peace.